Nelson Mandela Foundation visited Pietermaritzburg, Mgungundlovu, and nearby villages at the weekend. This followed, of course, the mass violence in parts of KwaZulu-Natal early in July. Let's find out exactly what they saw on the ground and what they're doing going forward. The Nelson Mandela Foundation Chief Executive Officer Sello Hatang is joining us now to tell us what they found. Ntate Hatang, good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday View. First up, I think the question like what led you to visit Pietermaritzburg and surrounding villages might not be a good one. But for me, because you're a foundation, I want to know why you went now there.
No, thank you very much, Dan Moyane, and good afternoon. We actually we've been going to donors asking that there be continuation of the feeding process so that we try and deal with food insecurity. So one of our partners being Hulamin, the aluminium company in Pietermaritzburg, then said, come and help us because schools were also vandalized, and unbelievably people broke into over 100 schools. And they then took food and other supplies from these schools. One of the things that is as basic as toilet papers. So the little ones, when they come back today, they wouldn't have had toilet paper. So we then went on to help with that. To try and make sure that they've got the supplies they need to be able to just have the schooling process underway. But then while we were there, we also got an opportunity to meet some of the community members who were in desperate need of food, and through the support of both Sello Foundation and Hulamin, we were able to then go into those families to help with the food situation.
Okay,
the aftermath of the...
I'm sure you found a very dire situation, because from the visuals that we've been able to bring our viewers here on eNCA and elsewhere we've seen in the media, the situation is very desperate in the aftermath of the violence that we saw last month. Now, what did the people on the ground tell you? What is the biggest need right now?
Food is a big one. People want to also regain their dignity. Those who lost their jobs, we had a woman who has 2 children who are working out in Durban, but then they've lost their jobs too. And I think in many ways we're going to have that struggle live with us for the longest of time. But convenience as well. And where the number of small businesses that were destroyed, that were part of the nerve center of these communities. In Mpendle, for example, we had an intergenerational shop that is black-owned, that's dealing with second-hand furniture. All that gone, and it means that 3-4 people who used to work there all gone. Pakistani shop that used to also operate in the area with a Chinese shop that had an ATM. All that was blasted, and they then took the ATM, and in a way, convenience that used to just, you'd be able to get your SASSA grant just around the corner. All that is now gone. You must travel further to take 1 or 2 taxis to get access to services that you used to get very nearby.
Are you going to be continuing to support those communities, for example, with those partnerships as the Nelson Mandela Foundation, not just food-wise, but also other needs, as you've said? There could be some very basic sanitary needs.
Yeah, we will be continuing. We're going to reach out to Mbumba Foundation, for example, to see how we can help even more about the sanitary towels in those kind of areas, but also to go to our other partners to see how they can bring in other expertise into these areas. But I think one of the important things that we should never forget in Ntate Moyane is how we must hold those who started this thing accountable. I can't emphasize enough that to be told every now and then that there's 12, 14, whatever the number is, that we keep being told that these people are the people who started this. The same enthusiasm that's been applied in recovering stolen property must be applied to find those people. Because to recover this economy to where it was, some of these people were living precariously already. And now you've put them back 10, 15 years. And I think until such time that those people are found, paraded in our courts to say these are the people who put South Africa back the way that we did, we're going nowhere. And the second thing also is around inequality. We can't turn a blind eye in Tate Moyane. We're going to have to do more. And we'll continue to go into those communities to try help wherever we can. But it starts with people taking responsibility also to out those who they know were behind this kind of effort. So our intelligence services must kick in to make sure that these people are held accountable.
Infuriated as you sound, Ntate Hatang, how do you give hope to those people that you saw in and around Pietermaritzburg, around Mkungundlovu this past weekend, and that you're going to continue to interact with as you continue your support for them?
You know, we work with the Colin Mashawane Foundation, and one of the things that we identified, we visited an old woman who also lives under really difficult circumstances. We're hoping to visit her, help her with she lives in a shack, which is really in a bad way itself. So we've reached out to the Colin Mashawane Foundation to help. But I think it's important that we tell South Africans that whatever happened here represents the worst of South Africa. And each one of us must join hands to help those who are in need. That if each hand helps another, to feed one another, we will get somewhere as a nation. And in the true sense of what Bishop Mpumlwana said, that Madiba is an ancestor of hope. We continue to come through to you because we want to not just give you hope, but show you that we work hard to build a South Africa that Madiba dreamed of. You can be part of that dream by helping your neighbor if you have the little that you have, because it's only through each other's help that we can help build that country.
Thank you very much. That's Sello Hatang, the Chief Executive Officer of the Nelson Mandela Foundation.